Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm in my Tesla Model Y long range. I just picked this up last week. I just did a video on kind of an overview of this car, and then I added the full self-driving and the free supercharging were transferred from two other cars to this car. If you didn't see that video, I'll leave a link down below, so check that out. But in this video, I want to go through all the numbers. I've had several people reach out and asked, hey, what was the total cost? Did you finance, lease? How'd the numbers all stack up? So in this video, I want to go through in detail how the price worked out, like the purchase price, the incentives, the discounts, the registration, sales tax. Go through all of the numbers, just show you exactly how it all added up, what the payment is on this, the insurance cost. So if you're curious, if you're looking at a new Model Y and you're thinking, well, how much do I need to pay per month if I put very little money down? What would the cost be, the payments and so forth? How much would that be? In this video, I'm talking about that. So this is as cheap as Model Y as you can get because this has no additional features, no additional options added onto it. It's the base color, which is the stealth gray, which in my opinion is the best looking color. It also has just the base 19-inch wheels, the black interior. It's the 5-seat version, no tow hitch. All right, so let's get into all the numbers. Let me show you exactly the cost I paid for this car. Now, when you go on the Tesla website, if you go into inventory vehicles and you see existing inventory, a lot of those cars right now, the end of March 2024, have incentives or price adjustments where Tesla is taking a cost off of the car. So the base price of the Model Y right now, end of March 2024, is $48,990. Now this car, if you can see all the included equipment, all of the paint, the color, the long range, 5-seat autopilot, that's all included in the car. So that brought it, there's no additional options. So $48,990 was the total price of the car, less the incentives. So there's some incentives or price adjustments right now available. So for example, there is a destination fee, $13.90. That's the cost to get the car from like the factory to the local delivery center. So there is a cost in that. That's mandatory. Even if you pick it up at the factory, you still have to pay that destination fee. That's typical with all new cars that you're buying. There's also a $250 order fee. So to place the order when you first order the car, you pay $250. That is included fee. There's no way to get around that. I had to pay that 3 times on this car because I had to cancel the order a couple times because the price kept dropping. The incentive off kept dropping down. So the total cost, the price adjustment, if you see there, is $4,410. That was the amount that Tesla came off of the $48,990. So if we add up the destination fee, order fee, and then remove the price adjustment, so there's 2 components to the money off that Tesla offered in this situation for my car. One is the price adjustment, and then the second one, this referral credit or referral bonus, that is $1,000 off. That was for having a Tesla Cybertruck reservation. I reserved that back in February of 2020. If you're an early Tesla, I don't know how early it has to be, but right now, March 2024, if you have a Tesla Cybertruck reservation, you get $1,000 off if you're buying a new car right now. So that was an extra $1,000 off the purchase price of the car. So the total cost of the car, before taxes, fees, and everything, $45,220. Okay, so to now go through all the other fees associated with the car, like registration, sales tax, things like that. So we have our $45,220. Registration was $394. That is a little high in my area for registration because mine's not based on MSRP. In my state, it's based on the year of the car. However, because electric cars don't pay the gas tax, they do charge or make that up in the registration fee. And then there is a sales tax. I pay about 7.25% sales tax, so that equals about $33.68.89 is my sales tax. So that brings the total price with all fees, taxes, and the price adjustments all included, $48,983.14. Now for this car, I did not want to lease the car because I'm adding FSD and I was adding free supercharging from other cars. So it would be kind of foolish to add those really valuable and expensive packages to this car and then just have to give them away in 3 years in leasing. So that's why I decided to finance this car. I only put $1,000 down. When you apply for financing on the Tesla app, you go into the app once you place your order, and there's like 10 different categories that you go through. It's like adding your picture of your driver's license, taking a selfie, adding your registration information, and one of the categories asks you how you want to pay for the car. And you can just indicate if you're going to arrange your own financing, which you can. That's easy to do. You can lease or you can finance through Tesla financing. I did Tesla financing. I've done that for my last 2 new Teslas that I've bought. It's super simple. It's the easiest way, and their rates are the most competitive as well. So I just did that. You apply, it seriously takes 30 seconds. You just put in your name, your social security number, you put in your income, how long you've lived at your address, your employment status, employer information, and you hit submit, and you get a response within like 5 minutes. One thing to know when you do that is you can get multiple offers through the Tesla financing. So what I would recommend doing is wait at least an hour before you accept any financing offer, because usually you'll get an answer. Like I got an answer back within 5 minutes, and it had like 8.49% financing, the percentage rate, and I'm like, that's kind of high. I waited a little bit longer, and about 30 minutes later, another offer from another bank came in, and it was a full percentage point less. And so if you wait a little bit, so wait at least an hour, because you might have multiple offers, and you obviously want to take the one with the lowest rate. You can also choose how much you want to put down. So I put $1,000 down on this car. The default amount is like $4,500. Tesla just kind of puts a default amount. I think they put that because it kind of covers your taxes. Maybe it's a little easier to get approved. But I was gonna put $0 down, but I'm like, okay, I'll put $1,000 down, and you know, I got an offer, got an approval very, very easily. But you can do $4,500. You can do, you can put any amount down that you want. And you can put that in when you're doing your finance application through the Tesla finance. So I would recommend that if you're going to finance, do Tesla financing. The rates are just as competitive as anywhere else, and it's super easy. The $1,000 down, and then the order fee of $250. So I basically paid $1,000 plus $250, and then the tax credit. So I did take the tax credit at the time of delivery. So right now, for United States customers like myself, there's a federal tax credit available. Your income has to be below certain limits, but if it is, you can take the $7,500 tax credit off of the cost of the vehicle when you deliver it. There's also, when you go through the app, it asks how you want to take the tax credit. Do you want to take it now at the time of sale, or do you want to delay it? Do you not want to take it at all? There's those options. If you're going to qualify for this, for me, it made sense to just take it at the time of sale, because that way it's taken off. You're not financing this amount and then having to pay it off later. You're just basically, it's like an additional $7,500 down payment on the car. So that brought my total out the door price, if we subtract these items from the total price here, $40,232.97. This was the amount that I financed. Okay, so with the total amount financed here, $40,232.97, I opted to do the 84-month term on the loan. That got me a 7.49% interest rate. Right now, that's like the best rate you can get for an 84-month loan. I figured that when interest rates go down sometime in the future, I'll refinance this to a lower term, lower rate, and keep my payment about the same. But if you can see my payment here, $618.81 per month. And the insurance cost, I added to my insurance, $85 a month for the car. I'll put down my limit so you can see if you're curious, because obviously insurance does have a big bearing. Where you live, age, if you have other policies, like I have a homeowner's, an umbrella, and auto policy with this same company. This is with $1,000 comp and collision deductibles, $250, $500 liability limits, and so it's, it's not, I don't have like bare bones insurance. I have a good insurance policy, but it is going to depend on like your personal situation. So I pay $85 a month for this car. That brings the total monthly cost for this car at $703.81. That's the monthly cost to insure and pay the monthly finance payment. Also, another cost to consider into this is going to be charging costs. I figure I'm going to pay around $20 to $30 a month in charging on top of this. So if you're curious, well, how much does it cost to own a Model Y? Payment and insurance, for me, around $700 a month. That's only coming out with $1,000 down payment on this. Well, I guess it'd be $1,250 is what I came out of pocket, and then I'll pay this on a monthly basis. So that's pretty reasonably priced, I think, for the car that you're getting on this. Interest rates do have a factor on this. If interest rates were, 3%, this would be a lower figure for sure. But that's kind of the environment that we're living in right now. As far as insurance goes, you can add Tesla insurance. The Tesla insurance was more expensive than my own personal policy that I had, but you can add the Tesla insurance initially. So when you go in to add your insurance, you can. Let's say you buy the car and then you're going to take delivery the next day, and you need to get it added to your policy. You can't pick that car up unless the car is added to your policy. The VIN number is on the ID card, and you upload the ID card. So if you don't have time to do that, your insurance, it's on the weekend and your insurance agent can't help you with that. Well, what you can add it to your Tesla insurance. The Tesla insurance price is based on how many miles per year you're driving. And obviously they do look up your driving record on that. But if you have a good driving record, you can even lowball the miles. If you just put, I'm going to drive only 1,000 or 2,000 miles a year on the car, you would get a really low rate on the Tesla insurance. And then as you drive the car, after a couple months, the payment would adjust up to what it should be based on the miles that you're driving and your safety score. They are keeping track of, like, you know, safety statistics on the car, and they'll adjust your premium based on that. So if you're a safe, careful driver, you don't drive very miles, maybe the Tesla insurance is a good deal. But also check with your own insurance company that you have your auto insurance through and just see what the cost is, compare those two. These Teslas really don't require a lot as far as charging goes if you're charging at home. If you're having to pay for supercharging or public charging, you're paying 20, 30, 40 cents per kilowatt hour. That's going to add up. So ideally, you want to charge the car at home. That's when you're going to get your biggest savings. That's where it's going to be the most cost effective to own an electric car, because really the cost to own the car is really not going to be a whole lot more than this. I really don't have to consider a whole lot more. There's not going to be a lot of maintenance involved. Tires, some maintenance. They're not maintenance free. There is some maintenance, but it's very low maintenance. And it's not very expensive, and a lot of it you can do yourself. So as you can see, this is a pretty affordable car to drive and to have, especially because this has free supercharging. So a lot of the charging can be free for me. If I use Tesla supercharging, I'll charge at home as well. If you're curious about how much it's going to cost, this could be a good ballpark of what you would pay. Obviously going to depend on your credit, down payment. Lease options might be less expensive than this. This is for financing. If you only keep cars a few years, maybe leasing would be a good way to go if you don't drive a ton of miles. Now, if you're driving 20, 30,000 miles a year, it doesn't make sense to lease because you can't get a lease with that many miles. But if you're only driving, 10 to 15,000 miles a year, a lease payment would most likely be less expensive than that. And I believe you also get the tax credit amortized over the course of the lease. So that would help bring the payments down on a lease as well. But guys, well, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you found this interesting or helpful or at least entertaining to know what these costs are. I'll keep you updated as we do more videos on this car, but be sure to leave your comments down below. I'm curious to see where this kind of ranges and what other people are paying. Leave that information down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Thanks.